Good morning, wonderful ones. It is Noelle with Baker's Backyard Bounty, and it's very early. It is, well, 6 a.m., which for some of you is not super early, but I've been up with a coughing baby the past 3 days, so 6 felt really intense this morning, but it is okay because it's exciting stuff. We sell at our local, well, Rockwall farmers market every other weekend through the summer. So we've done it from May and it runs through September. And so Friday mornings before the market is when I harvest all my flowers and give them time just to rest and sit and acclimate, and then I make the bouquets today as well. So that tomorrow I just get to show up at the market and hang out with all the groovy people there. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning is harvesting and then arranging. And so it's a really fun process. It's actually a lot of work. I'm kind of a perfectionist with the shapes and the textures and everything, so it takes me like quite a while, but I really don't mind because it's like an artistic expression, and it's a way that I get to interact with God's creation. So I love it. It's all good, but today's gonna be some work. So I thought I'd bring you along with me. Can you hear the crickets? I love the early morning. It's so like peaceful and slow. Just had to enjoy that moment with you. The chickens are waking up. I can hear them dropping out of the coop. We got some big old girls in there. So before I start harvesting, I'm gonna allow some coffee to get into my bloodstream. I'll be a much more entertaining host after I'm caffeinated. But before I hop to it, I really just wanted to tell you guys that this is a dream of mine. Like, selling flowers at a farmer's market has been a dream of mine. But I will tell you, it's been interesting to watch the journey. Like, whenever I signed up, I really was just praying and hoping that I would have enough flowers, that I would grow enough flowers to be able to produce at the market, that they would be beautiful enough, quality enough. And so I really doubted myself. Like, it's interesting when you start chasing a dream and you actually take action steps to make it happen, how those little demons, right, like come up in your mind of doubt and fear. And so throughout this whole summer, I've been learning so much. Like, this container works better than that container. This vase works better than that vase. Like, I've learned so much. But I will tell you, I've wanted to quit along the way. And I'm kind of one of those people that goes gung-ho on something, and then when it gets hard, I want to just bail, which is not a good quality. The garden teaches us so much about our gifts and our vices, mostly our vices, like impatience and yeah, those types of things. So anyways, throughout this whole process, I wanted to quit so many times. It's been a lot of work. I have the little children with me, and I've stuck with it. I've only missed one market because we were traveling, and I just feel really proud about that. And now looking back, I can say, whoa, like, I'm a better flower farmer today than I was in May, and I've met so many incredible people. So anyways, all that to say, if you have a dream and you're taking action steps, like, just know that fear and doubt will come, but do not listen. Do not listen, because the glory comes at the end when you can look back and say, whoa, I persevered and it was so worth it, right? So much to learn. Okay, I need to drink coffee instead of talk, I guess. Can I just take a moment to show you how lovely these are? Oh, this is from the Queen Lime Blush series. This camera just doesn't do it justice. They are so beautiful. It is humid out here. I am sweating. So I finished, this is the last haul of the little zinnias. Aren't they beautiful? I'm just finding like any container I can throw all these in. There's so many. We finally got rain and the flowers were like, what is this wet stuff? we love it. And they exploded. So now I'm gonna move on to kind of more of like our filler things. Like mint is one of the fillers we use, so I'll harvest that. I have a bunch of Gomphrena, which are kind of like little pom-poms that just add texture to the bouquets. And then I actually have a ton of, it's huge, but it's Love Lies Bleeding and Hopi Red Dye Amaranth. And so I'll put those in some bouquets as little focal flowers. That'll be beautiful. So I'll show you those in just a minute too. Oh, are you getting your boots on? She's gonna come and help me. She woke up asking if it's Christmas. She asks nearly every single day. She's like very excited about Christmas. So over here I have the amaranth and I'm just gonna chop it off. I've actually probably let it get a little too big, but it'll still be beautiful in bouquets. It's just like kind of large and in charge. So I'll show you what that looks like. You come over here? Chickens, good morning, chickens. That's okay, we'll clean it up. See, so it's really beautiful and adds like super fun height and texture to the bouquets. So this is the Hopi Red Dye variety, and this is my first year growing amaranth, but it has done so well, especially with the heat. Also, the foliage is really beautiful, so I kind of leave some of the leaves on just because I love the color so much. So this one here is called Love Lies Bleeding. Okay, come on. And it is like such a fun variety that kind of like hangs out of the vase. It just, again, really cool texture. I mean, nature is amazing, you guys. I just love it. So I have a bunch of this as well that I'll be adding to some of my bigger bouquets. So cool. Here she comes, Miss America. You wanna say hi to everybody? You gotta step right here so they can see you in all your glory. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is Lily B. Yeah, girl. What'd you find? Ooh, a little stink bug. All right, let's show them what it looks like. Look at all that glory. I'm really excited about these tomorrow.
I don't want to sting me.
It won't sting you, just stinky bugs. So over here I have what we call Gomphrena, which are like these little puffball looking things. I'm trying to see if it'll focus. Yes. And they just add really fun height and texture as well. So I have a bright purple, atomic purple. I think this is Strawberry Fields Gomphrena. And then I have a light purple, kind of like a lilac color. And these are just, yeah, add some whimsy to the bouquets. And we really like whimsy, right?
Step in here. Is there ants in there?
No, I don't think so. You're big on the bugs this morning, huh? Mm-hmm.
Here's Lily.
Here's Lily. Okay, so I am 2 hours in, and like it is a lot of work. Like I said, I wanted to show you. This is the lavender Gomphrena I have. I showed you the Strawberry Fields, and then I also have. I gotta take all the foliage off of these. This bright purple, which is really beautiful. You see, boop, atomic purple. Also, when I was over there, I went ahead and picked up, ooh, shaky cam, sorry, my Celosia. So I've had a really like bright purple variety that has been great, but it's kind of petering out. But this is a yellow variety of Celosia. And actually, the longer you leave it on there, it's starting to fan, which I think is really cool and beautiful. So these also just add height and texture to bouquets. So you just grow a ton of different things, and somehow it works out, all coming together and making some really beautiful artistic arrangements. All right, so now that everything is harvested, I'm gonna make a bouquet. So these are some of the little fun vases and jars that we found at the thrift stores and estate sales and garage sales. They're all just a little different. These are older. They had a really old looking tag on them. Just kind of cool, fun containers. So I tend to, I love vintage bottles, but a lot of the openings at the top, I don't know if you can see this, are pretty small. And so you can't fit a ton of stems in there without really crushing them. So I've learned throughout the summer to really look for vases that have large openings like so. You know, like lots of space for the flowers to kind of flow and yeah, fall. So today what I'll do is I'm gonna make just one bouquet with you, but I have, I think, 11 or 12 at least to make of just the vases, and then I think I'll have enough for some larger market bouquets just to like wrap in the craft paper, which I can show you that another time of how to wrap a market bouquet. So first off, what you do is you kind of look for the focal flowers, so things that are kind of like eye-catching, large. And so oftentimes what I'll do is use like a really big zinnia or a clustering of zinnias to create that initial punch. So here, I'll start with these. So I have some of these like little sunshine, they're called whirligig mix is actually what they're called. And they just turn out so fun and whimsical looking. See if you can, yeah, see the dual tones. So I have the whirligig mix, and then I'll choose some, usually just some white zinnias to kind of accentuate, adding in some of our supporting flowers, so smaller zinnias. I'm running over here real quick to grab this little doodad. There's some of my smaller zinnias, and then I also have this one over here with some little orange ones. So I'll go with, we have some pink in there, orange. So I love mixing color. Like I know a lot of people like single tone bouquets, or, you know, a lot of monochromatic schemes. But for me, I'm like, give me the color punch. That's the fun stuff. Okay, so I have just some variety going on here. Next, what I add in is the texture. So like, oh, there's some big bugs on these. That's so funny. So some of this strawberry Gomphrena would look good in here for some texture. Adding in a little bit of whimsy. Who doesn't love some whimsy? Usually I add in a couple of these in the side. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and add in another white zinnia over on this edge. There we go. So it starts to come together, right? Like we're creating a cohesive piece. So I have focal flowers, and really only need one big focal flower, but these zinnias aren't necessarily like huge. I planted a bunch of dahlias to have some really good focal flowers this year, but they just went kaput. They arrived late just because of shipping delays with COVID, and then just with the heat. I'm actually talking to Eden Brothers about what went wrong, because I got 3 dahlias out of 20 bulbs I ordered, blah, blah, that's another story. But instead of having those focal flowers of my dahlias come through, I've had to work with the zinnias, and that's been fine because they've turned out to be beautiful. Okay, so see, we're starting to create this nice form. From there, I usually add in my greenery around the bulk of my bouquet. So, like I said, I have some mint that I need to go grab, but I also have the Celosia leaves, and I just think that they are so beautiful. So I add those in, tucking them around. Like Martha Stewart on a cooking show. 2. Okay, let's keep it going. One of my favorite zinnias are these like coral colored ones. They're really vibrant and like really good producers. I had a ton of these. So like, as you can see, I just keep kind of building and adding. To be honest, from a financial standpoint, perhaps I add in too many stems, but I kind of let the bouquet take me where it wants to go, and then I'll price it. So like, it doesn't have to, I don't know, it doesn't have to be pared down just because of wanting to conserve stems. And also, you know, I want it to be beautiful. So that's more important to me than anything, is that it's beautiful. Okay, so look at this. See how the greenery brings it all together? I have this fan like Celosia, this little tail looking Celosia. I have zinnias, my greenery. Actually, instead of all 3 of these oranges being together, let me go ahead and move one orange to this side just to balance it out. See how this takes me forever? But whatever. You'll see other YouTube videos and they're like talking about their recipe for their bouquets and how to streamline it, and that is probably a good thing. But for me, this is part of the fun, is the art of it. So, okay. So once you have like a good like bulbous shape, okay, so you see what I have here? Da-da-da, da-da-da. I think that's really pretty. Bulbous shape. You look at the size of your container, and I kind of try to pair it so that the bulk of my flowers sit on top of the container, so it keeps the shape. If the stems are too long, when you set it down in there, they'll just all fan out. If it's too short, then they're gonna soak up water. I've actually learned this throughout the summer too, because of our high heat, the flowers just gulp water, especially being outside at the market. So you really have to, even as a consumer, like when you take the flowers home, keep a really good eye on the water level, because they'll just start wilting so fast because they're so thirsty. Okay, so I choose where I want to cut it. Make sure you use really sharp scissors or else it'll just crush the stems. They won't absorb water as well. So see, now we're all even. And I set it down in the vase. Kind of do some zhuzhing. And I think that looks really stunning. Really beautiful. There you go. Oh, got a straggler. I'm gonna tuck you in. But yeah, that's what we do. And so I'm gonna do this a bunch of more times and get some really fun, funky market bouquets in my cool, eclectic glasses. And hopefully I won't be up too late tonight. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and coming along on the process. May you find the bounty in your own life and all the beauty that it holds. And I'll see you soon. Some of you hopefully tomorrow at the Rockwall Farmers Market downtown on the square. Take care.